The Captive, a real-time adventure puzzler set in the Glen of Coloured Corpses, programmed by Nigel P. Johnstone, the same guy that also brought us other games you may or may not have heard of, such as the similar game Spooks, or a very strange collection of Humpty Dumpty games. The storyline in The Captive is also a strange one, and, unwittingly, as it describes on the game's inlay, you have wandered deep into the Glen of Coloured Corpses, and now realise that you are completely lost. Must have been some walk. So those of you who think this is a Great Escape style game, judging from the game's cover art, prepare to be as equally as baffled as I was when I first played this game all the way back in 1985. And after the screen faded away, I was stood in the middle of this Glen of Coloured Corpses, so no prison cell. Well, you play the Captive and need to escape a large, four-way scrolling island infested with messengers of doom who will regularly claim your one and only life. Also, as your energy level is constantly depleting, you'll need to manage your health levels with food items dotted around the plains. The whole process is very tricky and involves collecting a multitude of objects, often with interconnected uses, building up to the grand finale, piloting a helicopter and getting the hell out of there. Wait a minute, I thought it was programmed by Nigel P. Johnstone. Why is he calling himself Prisoner? Was he the guy on the cover then? It's all very confusing. One of the things you will instantly recognise is the slightly jarring rendition of one of the Fantasia themes by French composer Paul Dukas, The Sorcerer's Apprentice. It really does grate on you after a while, so I think, for the sake of sanity, that's a bit more bearable now. The keys, amongst many other objects, are scattered around the island, but only 3 of these can be carried at any one time. This is where your arcade adventurer acumen will come into play, and you quickly realise that by careful acquisition and use of the many objects and artifacts, you can combine them to solve puzzles. The good news is that you are constantly given clues to follow, so you're not left completely in the dark. There are essential items you'll need to find, such as the shovel, and all the while you need to combine scrolls in order to learn new abilities. If, for example, you use a scroll, the text of the scroll is displayed. The idea is to use logic to decide the value of the items and therefore escape. One facet that sets this game apart from many of its peers is how often you'll need to combine items. You may need to pick up a typewriter to enter your name on a diploma, which enables you to use yet another object, for example, a gun. Then there are the varieties of fruit you can find to replenish your health bar by differing amounts, and coloured keys that open the corresponding doors. The big problem with all of this is that you can only carry 3 items at a time. Maddening. One big help in your quest is that object placement is not randomised. So for example, if you found a pear in one place during one game, it'll be there the next game, which helps a little. You can pick up and drop objects at will, so it's conceivable that you could create a stockpile of items in one central area. But there's one big obstacle to that strategy. It's those messengers of doom I mentioned earlier. Monsters that pop up and travel in a straight line until it collides with an obstacle and then disappears. They don't travel very quickly, and they're not that hard to dodge. The problem is that the monsters appear randomly right out of thin air, and if one appears right on top of you, well, let's just say that this must have been a very frustrating factor amongst many of us. In fact, this issue probably caused many to quit the game and stick the cassette to the back of the pile. Nevertheless, once your rage subsides, you'll likely return to the Captive, convinced that this time you will have a clear run straight through to the end. Those of you who remember this game the first time around will no doubt absolutely love this classic, but I'm not so sure if those playing for the first time will latch onto it so quickly. But that's just my opinion. What did you think of The Captive? Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and do be sure to let me know in the comments section. Also, a massive thank you for your continued support on this epic journey down memory lane. If you're new to the channel but are enjoying the nostalgia, then maybe consider subscribing as we delve deeper into the Commodore 64 catalogue of games. Many may not know this, but there are multiple playlists on the channel where you can choose to see games in order of its genre. Action, platformer, racer, adventure, they're all there. Or if you have a particular year you remember most, then you can also see all of the games by that year. Check them out, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye for now.
You